Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and my guest tonight is Patricia Ribeiro. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Let me tell you a little bit about Patricia. She is a new coach. She's almost got her certification, very close. She's just waiting for the final word. And she's thinking about starting her own, no, she is starting her own business.
Yes.
But she's thinking about it too.
Yes.
And so what I do with all my guests, as you know, this show is based on the points of view, the coaching game. I asked Patricia to pick one of the 65 cards, and she chose gratitude. And I said, okay, let's see where we go with that. So, Patricia, tell us a little bit about what made you decide you want to be a coach, and how does gratitude play into that?
Well, what made me decide to be a coach was that it's kind of something that I've always done a little bit with friends and family, as many coaches do
we
find.
all did that, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can get paid for this.
Yes.
I'm giving out free advice.
And, you know, I always thought that it would be important if I was going to do something, I don't do anything sort of halfway. I have to go full hog. And so it was like, if I'm going to do this, I'd like to get certified and learn some sort of program or process that I can follow to help people, which I did. And I went through the Life Purpose Institute. And it was amazing because I really like to see how, those processes that you follow really do help people. And so that way it also helped me have some sort of system to go through people. So it wasn't just like, okay, so you're having a problem and I'm going to come up with all these ideas for you. The thing that I really love about coaching is that you really have to sort of put it on the person. And you have to come up with a way to solve your problem, but I'm here to support you on it.
The hardest thing is not to tell them how to solve their problem based on your recommendation.
Yes, and I think that's really helpful because I feel that as a coach and as a person, as a friend, as a family member, what I want to do is encourage you, support you, be your cheerleader. And the best way that I can do that is to listen and encourage, but really it's your life and you need to make those decisions, and I can sort of just gear you in the right direction or be that ear and help you come up with a plan and then help you become accountable. And when I realized that that's what coaching was, I said, yes, yes, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I think that's how we all found it. Well, the card that Patricia chose is the gratitude card. And so where and how, why did you choose this gratitude card?
Well, gratitude speaks to me personally because I try to be grateful every day. We all go through times in our day, in our life, where things seem tough and you're having trouble getting through. And I always sort of tell myself, I need to be grateful for the good things. When my kids are running around, driving me crazy, I remind myself, they're running around, that's good, they're healthy,
right.
They can run. They're able to drive me crazy, which means they're doing well, they're being normal kids, and I'm grateful for that. And any sort of struggles that I feel in my life that are coming my way or that I need to overcome, I feel that if I'm grateful for those struggles and know that when I get to the other side, those struggles will have prepared me, that I think that the gratitude helps me deal with that a little easier and be like, I'm just going to be grateful. I'm just going to be happy for what I have, and then that will carry me through.
Is it kind of like finding the silver lining, even though it's like,
yes,
just like, okay, this is a cloudy day, and it is a cloudy day actually.
Yes, yes, today it is.
Yes, it is. But the silver lining is that we're here doing a fun show. So,
yes, it's a very exciting day for me. So cloudy or not, I'm very excited today.
My favorite saying is, and I never know who does my favorite saying, but is wherever you go, bring your own sunshine. It's like,
that's great. I like that.
And then you don't have to count on anybody else or any weather or any great conditions. So that's kind of what you're saying.
I think attitude really is the game changer in your life. And I've been through many tough times, as we all go through them in life.
Right.
And when I sort of switched that in my brain and said, I'm going to be grateful, and I'm going to be thankful, and I'm going to look at things positively. And I always was an optimistic, positive person, especially, you know, growing up. And then you go through that sort of period in your life where everything's just like, oh, God, you know,
I thought
how am I going to
get the answer?
Yeah, why? You know, what am I doing in my life? Who am I? You know, and then you're like, well, you know, let's see what makes me happy. Let me move forward from here and move towards that goal and look at the good things in my life. And I was fortunate. I always had family and friends that were there, and so I always sort of focused on that. I have friends, I have family, I have health. Okay, I'm good.
With that, you can go further.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I just need to sort of make decisions, you know.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about the business and what's the name?
Well, my business is called Jumpstart for Change, and I picked that because I think that sometimes people just need a little encouragement, a little push in the right direction, and, you know, holding somebody's hand and helping them cross that bridge sometimes is enough to sort of propel them forward to go, yes, I can do this, you know. I can get what I want. I can be happy. I can find motivation in my life. And that's really what I want to do for people, is I want to be like, you can do it. You can be motivated. Let me help you. Let me see how you can get there. And so I kept thinking of names as like, you know, what can I do? You know, a catalyst. You know, so sort of, you know, I kept going with those names, and then Jumpstart for Change was like, yes, I'm going to give people a jumpstart for the change in their life, because change is a big thing for me too. I think that, you know, people are always like, oh, you know. Not everybody, but, you know, you often find people, you know, talking about how they sort of lament so many things in the past.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, if I knew then what I know now, I would do things differently. And I'm here to say you can do things differently right now, you know?
Get moving, yeah.
But you have to change. You can't expect things to be different in your life if you don't do anything differently.
Right,
you know? So
right.
that's sort of where it came from.
Do you have a target client, or is this just anybody who wants change?
Well, certainly, anybody who wants change, I feel like I can help you.
She's a smart coach. You never turn down a client.
You know, I think people through transition of any type can really benefit. You know, and I guess my focus audience is an audience that's very close to my heart, which is moms, because I am one. And I went through that transition of being, single and then married and then having children, and my life, you know, changed completely.
Right.
You know, and in a good way, but definitely very differently. And I see what moms go through on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I raise my own children, and I have friends who are working moms, and I see what they go through, and there's always that struggle. For stay-at-home moms, you're like, should I be doing something for myself here? You know, should I be out there and still having some sort of career? What's going to happen when my kids are at school full-time and they don't need me, and I'm twiddling my thumbs, and then I'm getting back into the industry 15 years later, and they're going, so what have you done with yourself? And you're like, raised children.
Let me show you my kids.
Yeah, it's like they're beautiful children, you know, and I feel that prepares you, you know, raising children prepares you for so many things, and I want to empower those women who do stay at home and say, you know what, you have skills, and you've gained many being a mother, and you can put them towards whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And working moms, you've been balancing children and your work career, and you can do it. You can do that. You just need to decide for yourself what you want, what your vision is for your future, what motivates you to get to that vision, and then using the skills that you have and the support system that you have, hopefully, or using the support system that I can offer you, have the confidence without the guilt to continue moving forward in your own life.
Right. One thing that I find, because I do some transition stuff, like mostly reinvention, and people who, you know, are looking for different jobs, is taking those skills that they actually do have, even though they feel like running around after children has no skills. Of course
Yes.
it does. But and translating it into real world, something that you can do. You certainly have time management going. You have, you know, juggling many tasks. There are many talents. So.
I mean, there's like anger management, you know, conflict resolution.
Yes,
I do that every day, especially with 3 boys.
Exactly.
Conflict resolution comes into play all the time.
A little bit of Zen meditation, whatever's needed to do that.
Yeah, you really do gain a lot of skills, that you don't think you have, and I think that that's the problem, is that people are not really realizing that what they have gained, in some cases, are skills, and even the balance of life and home, and even if you are just a stay-at-home mom, and I don't say that lightly, because I am, I think that you need to give value to everything that you do all day. There's a lot that goes into a day of a mom, and trying to keep everybody happy, and including, your husband if you have one, or wife, I think that all those things play into every day, trying to work through those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Patricia has, the Points of View not only has 65 exquisite cards, it has a lovely layout sheet, which is, we're going to play. We're actually going to play Points of View. And the one that we've chosen, there are 4 categories. The one we've chosen is Awakeness. And this was created in Israel, so the word is what they wanted it to be, Awakeness. And the objective of the layout is to create an awareness regarding a specific topic and to take a closer look at it from different perspectives. So, you decided that Awakeness was for you. What is your issue? What are you dealing with presently?
Well, I guess the primary thing that I'm dealing with, of course, is that I'm starting a new business, and that's huge.
Big one, yeah. That's big. So what we're going to have her do, there are 5 questions that are attached to this layout, and I always tell people these are magic cards. The cards will choose you. So just whatever card calls you, pick one, and we're going to pick 5, and we'll put them down in the order in which you pick them.
Okay.
All right, we're going to put them down face down because that's how she's drawing them. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, as I said, Points of View is excellent for bringing right brain and left brain together, so let's see if that's really true.
Okay.
Going to put aside the others. So the first question is, and the first card is what is the real issue? And the card you drew was the awareness card, and that you said that was the issue. So how would you answer that question? What is the real issue with the awareness card?
That's interesting.
It's fascinating.
The awareness of the issue.
is awareness.
Yes, I mean, I suppose that is, trying to figure out what is the issue with starting the business, which I think is the awareness of starting a business and balancing my home and business life. I'm definitely one of those people who, my home life is very important to me. I love my children, of course. I love spending time with them. And I also really enjoy spending time with my husband.
How unique is that?
I really do. All my spare time, we really enjoy spending time together. And so any time that I take away from that, there's always that little voice in my head that says, how is my family going to be affected by me taking on a different venture, a new venture that takes me away from them, in some way, because I have the idea of I want to do workshops and I want to have clients, and there's lots of things that I want to do, and hopefully if I'm, once I achieve success, then I will be busier and hopefully be traveling. That's the idea, and so I wonder, how am I going to fit all that in? And still have that happy home that I have today with me being home all the time.
Fantastic. I can't believe you chose the awareness card for awareness. That's just amazing.
You did say they were magical.
I did. I know that. So the next card is what is stopping or holding me back? And the card she chose is generosity.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, how would you answer the question with that card?
Generosity. That's so interesting.
I'm telling you, these are magic cards. That's all I'm saying.
Because I definitely think it's sort of generosity with my time. I think that's, I think that very much plays a part.
Where are you too generous with your time?
I guess there is the idea of procrastination. So I'm generous with my time with myself. I don't know if that's, sort of doing the things that I want and I kind of relish in that versus being productive.
But I like the word that you chose, generosity, because it is a gift to yourself. To
Yes.
give yourself that time, as opposed to, this really, is hindering me because I'm playing race car games, because we were talking about that earlier. So, I could be doing something more productive, but you're
Yes.
going, no, this is my gift to myself. So,
Yes, and I do feel that, going back to the time that I spend with my husband and my kids, that time is precious. And so for me to step out of that time to do something else.
Start a business. Oh,
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
that makes sense that it's holding me back in a sense, because it's like, oh, my time is so, so precious. I want to do this, and I want to move forward, but that definitely plays in my mind. I had that conversation with another fellow coach.
Really?
Yes, we did. We had the same conversation about, trying to balance the coaching and your family life. But it's important. It's still, I find it really important to do just the same.
What I find interesting is most people, I won't say most, but a lot of people become coaches because they think, oh, I can make $100,000 in my pajamas all day long on the phone. That's not how it works. You really have to get out there and hustle, and you have to let people know, and you have to stay updated. And it's good. Again, it's good that you're aware that you're being generous to yourself, but you may have to take some time from that in order to get your business going. The next question is, what allows me to move forward? Okay, and she drew the initiative card. See, didn't I tell you?
I think you're right.
Yes. So how would initiative allow you to move forward?
Well, taking
You've
initiative.
already done it, yes.
Absolutely. I think this show was initiative. For me,
yes.
Because my wonderful teacher, Sharon Good, who was one of your previous guests.
Recently, yes.
Yes, and neighbor, apparently.
Yes, that's right. She lives in my building.
She recommended, and she knows that, I have the TV background, so you would be great for Laurie's show. And I was like, oh, sure, And of course, there's always that first block or fear. You're like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Wait, let me get certified, or let me get. Everybody does that, or let me get 2 years under my belt. Whatever, So.
But as we talked about earlier, I do tend to see if something makes me feel uncomfortable, then I do it because I know that I have to. It's like a personal challenge. It's like, oh, my stomach's turning. I have to do this.
Exactly. As soon as I go, I'm afraid, it's like, okay, now you got to do it.
Yeah. And I think
crazy.
that works with initiative, too. I know that I'm going to have to take initiative. And, I did in creating my website. And I had to really think about what I want my message to be and did that. And I put a goal for myself of wanting to do a workshop by the fall. And now it's out there, so I have to do it. And so
on air, yes.
I need to, and there's steps I need to take in order to make that happen. And those things are all, steps in that initiative that I have to take of meeting people and getting out there and going beyond my comfort zone.
Yes.
Of just like hanging out at home. And, it's like, it's tough doing things at home, but at the same time, there's that comfort level that, of your day to day. It's like, this is good here. It's like, I have to go out there and tell people how, that I can do this.
And really, I found the most daunting thing was when I was finally certified. It was like going out and going, I'm a coach. And it's like, oh, can I really say that? Because there's coaches who've been coaching for 20 years. Am I really a coach? It's like, yes, you're a coach. At whatever stage you're at, you're a coach. So.
Yeah, I think that it definitely plays a part is giving yourself value.
Yes.
And I think that the certification for me was a part. My husband was like, you don't need to be certified. He was like, you do this all the time. And I said, I need that for myself.
Yes.
I want to take the steps, and I want to be certified because it makes me feel like I've done what I need to do, to get there. And it gives me value, helps me value myself and my contribution.
And people definitely, that's going to give you credibility, of course.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, that absolutely plays a part into it. So you're not just like, well, I'm a coach. And people can do it. It doesn't, that's not to diminish.
Right, no, I mean, when it was a couple of years ago when everybody was a coach, nobody was a consultant anymore. And I actually got something from someone called the Knife Coach. And I'm going, what?
The Knife Coach?
What could this be? Oh, no. And it was someone and she was all over television and people knew her.
Really?
She helped people before they went into plastic surgery.
Seriously?
And I said, okay.
Everybody needs a coach.
I guess. So she was the knife coach. It's like, all right. So let's find out. What am I afraid of? Oh, my goodness. Habits. She drew the habits card.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Tell us, what are you afraid of in habits?
Well, I guess, having, I'm not sure if it's that I'm afraid of habits, but being afraid of breaking habits, in some cases.
Change.
The
Whoa.
change.
Yeah.
Because, it's like every day there's a routine. I have my routine down pat, and some days are easier than others, and we've talked about time management a little bit
Yes.
amongst
That's
ourselves.
my problem, yes.
But once you get into this certain habit and then you have a flow, it goes, you pretty much have it figured out. Some moments easier than others, but nonetheless, those habits sort of help make the day go a little easier. At 3 o'clock, this is what's happening. Dinner has to be ready by 5:30 or whatever the case may be. And breaking those habits in order to take the initiative,
What do you fear would happen if you broke those habits?
I think that people as creature of habits, and myself personally, once you break that to step outside of the comfort zone, then you're kind of in fear zone.
Right.
You're really like...
And the steps aren't quite as clear.
No.
Because the habit, you've got a nice path going.
That's right.
Now you're making a new path. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, part of it I think about that too is that I never really wanted to have, sort of like a mundane existence, and even though I have certain habits at home, it's never mundane.
No, I'm sure the 3 boys make sure
No, it's always exciting,
Yes.
and I also feel that coaching is a good career for that sense because you're always dealing with different people, and there's a lot of, you're not having a mundane existence.
Right, you're not data entry, you're not, it's always something different.
There's always something new, someone new, some new experience, but I certainly think that in relation to me, when I think of what I'm afraid of and I see habits, I think it could be, sort of breaking habits and breaking out of my comfort zone to do other things.
Yes. Other exciting things.
Other exciting
Yay.
things.
So, what are the opportunities that you are faced with? Communication. Now that's a coaching card for sure. Communication is the card she drew.
Well,
Starting right now.
Yes. It's interesting because one of the things that I always wanted to do and sort of what brought me into coaching as well was that I always wanted to put together the things that I love all together. And so obviously my background is in television and I've hosted and written shows and that kind of thing. And I also want to help people and do coaching. And so, one of the things that I thought of was I'd like to have a show. I'd like to do sort of like a self-help kind of show, and I've had that dream for as long as I can remember. It was like, I want to be a talk show host. That's what I want to do. And so I started thinking, I remember even when I was in my 20s, like writing the outline for like a woman power show, like how to give young women confidence to move forward and, and deal with whatever issues that women deal with. And so now it's sort of evolved into, not just women, but an all-encompassing sort of self-help show. And my plan, my grand plan,
oh yes,
is
revealed
to do,
right here. Yes,
is to do a show that where I can bring on guests that are experts in many different things that would be appropriate, like financial advisor or whatever, to help people, and to be the host that sort of pulls it together and sort of helps people and be the thread through the show.
How would that play into Jumpstart for Change? It would be like whatever the person needed to change, you would bring to them, like financial management or time.
Yeah.
You keep talking about time management, but it's important.
Yes, I think that the topics would change based on based on whatever sort of topic du jour kind of seemed to be most prominent. And as I had mentioned to you before, I've been writing a monthly article in Plainview Life magazine, and it seems to be that I never have any idea what I'm going to write about. And then for whatever reason, during the time leading up to when I have to write the article, eventually somebody says something to me, something comes up in my life, and it's like, that's the topic. That's what's coming up a lot, and I think that it's one of those things that I believe that the universe always leads you in the direction that you need to go.
Right.
And so especially when you let go a little bit. And so very much in my life, I have seen that come true time and time again. And I think that the same way with the show is that it will sort of be directed based on what's going on.
Wow.
And who I encounter.
So your original issue was that, okay, I'm starting something new. Should I be? Am I? So what insight did you have from doing this?
Well, it's incredible to me, the cards that came up.
Everybody always asks me, how do you do that? It's like, I didn't touch them, you did it. But anyway, yes.
It definitely supports my ideas as far as what I know I need to do, how I need to move forward. And, this was a message I needed to receive from the universe.
Wow, nice.
I feel that we
had to oblige.
We get those messages. Like, this show is important for me to sort of initiate my career. I feel like this was a great step, and having someone as wonderful as you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And then doing this game really, has me thinking, I just need to do these things.
So it's full steam ahead?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing that you'll watch out for will be just being, I love that you use generosity for the things that you give yourself. I think that is, I'm going to really go home and try to ponder on that one, because it's like I'm always thinking that, it's like we don't have enough time and I need to be doing this, but it's like, yes, generosity is also generous to yourself, not to everybody else. That's your career, so.
Absolutely.
Hard one for me to learn. So if we were going to tie gratitude, which was the theme of this show,
yes.
What's the gratitude here?
Well, that's interesting. Certainly, the gratitude for, being in the position that I'm in.
Exactly.
I'm grateful that I've come this far. I've taken the steps so far that I have, and sort of be gracious that the universe sort of kind of showed me the way a little bit today.
You know what? And I think you should also be grateful that you're open to listening to the universe.
Oh,
because
yes.
a lot of people, one of my other favorite sayings, I don't know who did it, but is, get out of the way and let the universe do its thing. Because so many times we're the people who block what's going on. It's like if we would just let it all happen. So that's, I think you need to congratulate yourself on being aware and open and aware. All these words flying around now. Okay.
Important words that we need to, keep in our day-to-day.
Keep going. So my gratitude would be for having you on the show. It was, because I have to tell you, this was kind of courageous for you to do. It's like, okay, I'll be coached on a personal issue and put it out there right on the show.
I think it's important, I think it's important for people, especially if they're going to work with me, to see that, I'm human. We all have issues that we deal with, the support comes from a true and honest place.
Yes. So I think everyone should go to, because she's been working very hard on it, just so she could get it in before the show, and I'm so pleased that you did. Go to jumpstartforchange.com, and you're going to find a little bit about what she's going to be doing, and possibly a workshop that's coming in September.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
One way or another.
And I think we've crystallized there are plans, and she's going to follow them now, and be thrilled about it. And check out what Patricia's doing, and I will just use these last few seconds to say thank you so much for your courage, for your honesty, and for being on the coaching game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.